Was that ineptitude with women that led to one of the true chuckling parts of your book where, and this is what I want to ask the panel after we get the answer from Imran, you actually have to expose yourself and a lot of things about yourself to an audience that normal people wouldn't do. And Imran, you even in the book confess to still not losing your virginity by the age of 24.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it so bluntly as that.
It's just between you and me, no one else.
And do you want me to...
I would like you to read that passage.
Okay, I just need to put it in context. First of all, when people say, what did you study at university, do they mean what were you registered to study, or do they mean what did you actually do? Because that's quite, it's quite a dilemma, I think. Just to put it in context as well, I was, for many years, labouring under this assumption that girls dig guys who have cars. And so I would spend every summer working really hard, get a summer job, and I would invest it in a car. And by the time I was doing my PhD, I had an Alfa Romeo. And then on top of that, I bought a microwave oven. Now this was 1985. It was the only privately owned microwave on campus. But between the Alfa Romeo and the microwave, I still couldn't. And I know the truth now. I've learned the truth now. It's not that girls dig guys who drive cars. It's worthwhile girls dig guys who write books. But anyway, this is unfortunately, I'd love to say this was age 18 or 19, but unfortunately it's age 24. I'm doing my PhD, more or less. There's a girl with whom I've become acquainted, purely as a friend. Julian introduced me to Jennifer last year. He practically forced me to go to visit her in her room to overcome my shyness problem. I see Jenny around campus a lot, and this evening I drop in on her again. She's attractive, but she smokes, which is somewhat off-putting. We have a good time chatting in her room. Jenny decides to start guessing things about me. She deduces what type of underpants I wear, plain Y fronts, not anymore, and that I am circumcised. She also says curiously that she is always afraid to make the first move because she is afraid of rejection. I think she wants to go to bed with me, but I'm not sure. Rejection from what? If it's recreational sex, I've read about that in Cosmo by it, no problem. Being my girlfriend, maybe. Getting married, not likely, she really isn't the one. I'm reasonably sure that Jenny is giving me a green light, that if I initiate something, she will not reject me. I'm excited and terrified. I start to think this through logically. I will have to sleep in my contact lenses. Not good, but doable. Where do I put my clothes? Neatly folded on a chair. At what point do I remove my socks? I don't know. Do I need to wash my feet in case she wants to suck my toes? I've heard of such things. Will she smoke in bed? I won't like that. What about condoms? Does she have one? Will it be the right size? Oh, wait a minute. What about Islam? This isn't allowed. At least it's not adultery, which is really bad. It's only fornication. A lesser misdemeanor. I think the penalty is 75 lashes. Or is it 100 lashes? It's not worth it for 100. Which I won't get, obviously, because we're not in an Islamic state. Anyway, in an Islamic state, I would never be alone with a single woman in her place late at night. I think God will probably let me off. Or maybe I'll get 100 lashes worth of bad luck. Although I do feel a stirring in my Y fronts. My body sabotages the whole process. My stomach starts to make noises, and I feel flatulent. I have to get out of here. I hastily say that it's late and I should be going. From out in the corridor, I see her face looking disappointed, maybe rejected, as I close the door. I stand outside the door for a moment, trying to figure out how I feel. I'm not really sure. Then I head out of the hall into the cold, dark night. It is late.
Denise Scott, it's one thing to reveal to readers across the world.
I'm sorry, but I've got to ask what you're knitting. And you got really feverish as Imran was reading. You were going like the clatters. What are you knitting? Yes, you. As far as I can see, you're the only one knitting. You listen better when you're fiddling. Hello.
I think you should meet Imran.
And if you could knit him a pair of white Y-fronts, that would be better.
So you've got to keep knitting now, or I'll think you're not interested in me. Sorry, Simon.
Denise,
Yes.
it's one thing to write and reveal to the world that you've lost your virginity, or you haven't lost your virginity at the age of 24, but then to try and put dementia into the context of humour is a very brave thing to do, and you do this in number 26 in your book.
Do I? Yes, I do. It's Mum who has dementia, although I think I'm pretty close, but
Knitting is good for keeping it at bay.
apparently. But yes, in fact, it was when I was writing the book, All That Happened at number 26, which goes from when my partner John and I first bought our house, it'd be 26 years ago now. And we're still in the house, and during that time, my mum developed Alzheimer's, and the whole. Should I read that bit? That's pretty sad, though. But look, I don't know. Everybody's gone silent now, like you're listening to Kerry O'Brien. I mean, like I'm going to say something important. It's all right, relax. I just talk crap. You don't have to have pen, paper, nothing. I just talk crap.
The knitting got feverish for a second there.
I mentioned Kerry O'Brien and away you were. I tell you what. But all right, I will. Sorry, Tom.
No, I was just going to say, it's a writers' festival. You can depress people if you want to. It's not
All
a comedy
right,
gig. Comedy, it's like, it went really well, everyone laughed heaps. Like at a writers' festival, you can go, I depressed the brains out of them. They loved it.